Hey, John again. I'm playing Immaculate grade number 502. Not to worry, I'll get 501 caught up here. I'm going to dedicate this one to Freddie Freeman because he's sitting on 502 career doubles. That might not be the case by the time I finish talking, but in any event, let's dedicate to him, Braves and Dodgers. Hopefully those two teams come up. I'm gonna start sharing my screen and we will roll right into it. Gonna head a little refresh here. So I'm gonna hit play, hit go, and away we go. Grid number 502. I know how to play. All right. Sorry, Freddie, not today. Let's see here. Delino DeShields hits both teams. Joe Carter hits both these teams. Ripken hits these. Pretty low rarity scores to start. Let's get Lonnie Smith in there for St. Louis and Kansas City. Let's get Jay Bell in for Cleveland and Kansas City. Let's get George Brett in for 30 home runs. Not that much more, though. Let's see. St. Louis and Boston. William McGee will work. And then we get Manny Ramirez. It's an easy one. And let's get Ortiz to close out. All right. Got in 53 seconds with a pretty low rarity there, just under 100. You have had Ortiz, had Manny, George Brett, that's 3. Brady Anderson, people remember. People remember 1996. All right, so pretty good overall. I had some low ones to start. Lion to Shields at 0.6, Joe Carter at 0.6, so have to come up with some people to top that. I think I've already got a couple though. All right, we'll stop share and we'll reshare and we'll show this is that one. I don't really know when my computer's going to restart on me. All right, so we're taking a little bit more of a controlled approach here. Let's see here. For St. Louis and Baltimore, which equals St. Louis and St. Louis, I believe the guy there, also 200 wins, is a gentleman named Jack Powell for point 0.2. So better than DeShields, but not nearly as I thought that would have been lower. I did. It's all right. Where to next? Up here? I think I'm gonna go Raleigh Hemsley. He does hit both teams. Order of magnitude lower, almost. Here, I'm gonna hit Mike Jackson, who I'm sorry, no. I'm gonna hit oh wait a minute, that's different now. So this is interesting. I did this last year at some point, and I put in Mike Jackson. I entered it in. I think it was for like Cleveland sub 3 ERA or something like that. I meant this guy. I meant the one 1986, 2004, long career, had a great year 98 with Cleveland. But this guy worked because he pitched like a couple innings in one season for Cleveland. Obviously didn't make it that long, but he did play for both Kansas City and Cleveland. What's interesting is this guy was Michael Jackson, like the singer before, but they've changed it. Now it's Mike Jackson. That's how I remember him when he played. I was surprised when the name was actually Michael Jackson here. So it looks like they changed it back. That is how he played. That's how I remember it at least. But this is the guy I'm going to go with, the guy from the early 70s who wasn't nearly as good. He goes 0.03. 30 home runs for Kansas City. So the record for home runs in a season is held by Salvador Perez and Jorge Soler in like 2021 and 2019 respectively. They both had 48 home runs. In 2017, Mike Moustakas set the Royals all-time record with 37, topping Balboni's long-standing Royals record of 36, which was the lowest record of any of the 30 major league teams for a while there, because I think Balboni sets it in that 85 season. And so it was 30 plus years that was the Royals all-time record. it was sub 40 for their entire existence, almost 50 years, until 2019 with Soler. Um, anyway, I'm not gonna pick any of those guys. Soler and Perez are too obvious. Brett's too obvious. I used him. He was actually just, I think he just had a couple 30 homer seasons. He was over 30 and 85. So I knew that. So I knew it was going to be a safe pick. Um, I'm trying to remember. Jeff King had a 30 homer season. It was either with Pittsburgh or Kansas City, but I don't remember which. I don't think he had two. I do think Dean Palmer is going to work, and he might be sneaky. I also think Gary Gaetti is going to work. I think both of them, I think Palmer was like circa 98. I think Gaetti was circa 95, both third baseman. I don't think Mike Sweeney quite gets there. He had a monster 2000 season, but I think had 29 home runs, if memory serves me correctly on that one. Um, I think Hal McRae hits 27 at one point, but I don't think he gets above 30. I'm going Gaetti. You know what? I'm going Dean Palmer. Go sub one. Gaetti actually works over here and here for that matter. 0.4. It's a little bit higher than I thought. He only played for Boston for like a week. All right, St. Louis and Kansas City. I did Lonnie Smith. Daryl Porter, the former Brewer, also works. Dan Quisenberry works. He played a little bit for St. Louis at the end of his career. Mark Rezolotic works. Let's see. Down here, I'm going to go Kevin Mitchell. Let's see how he does. He did not play for these teams very long. Yeah, so that's still pretty low. Um, I think Suppan is the best name I've come up with so far. Or you know what? This is a Jamie Wright combo, isn't it? Let's go Jamie Wright. 0.1. I'll bet that's better than Suppan. I think Suppan's probably pushing one, but not quite at one. That's my guess there. Let's see. Baltimore, 30 plus home runs. Um, yeah, Murray works, Ripken works, Brady Anderson works, Palmero works, Chris Davis works. I think Adam Jones works. I know Manny Machado works. Is Gunnar there yet? I know nobody, because I just saw it on a John Boy video. Nobody from last year's Orioles team was at 30, but I think Gunnar is might be there by now. But let's go to St. Louis Browns times, and let's go with Ken Williams, the first ever 30-30 season in 1922, and the last for like 3 decades. He goes 1.0. And then we'll wrap up down here. Let's go with our guy, Walt Drapo, because I talked about him in my book, 1950 season. One of the lowest WARs ever by a player with a 300 batting average, 30 home runs, and 100 RBI. So I knew he was going to work. He goes 0.6 for Rarity 3. So that's a pretty good score. Thank you very much for playing. Post your scores as always. Let me know that you beat me because most of the people who comment on these videos do beat me. But I appreciate everyone tuning in and watching. Again, I don't say it enough, but it warms my heart that there's a contingent, a loyal contingent of y'all that tune into these videos. I knew the topic would be niche, but it's awesome that we've got our little comment community there. So thank you very much, and I'll get 501 posted here in the very near future. All right, now have a good weekend. Peace.